Oftentimes, I have business owners when they come to me and they're anticipating or they're in the beginning stages of going through a divorce, and they say to me, "We have a business, it has financially supported us for the length of the marriage. What's going to happen with the business? Can I retain the business? And what are the circumstances wherein I might not be able to retain the business?" In most cases, we try to maintain the integrity of the business. We don't want to distribute it. One of the things that we look at with a business is the continued operation of that business necessary in order to fund the financial needs of both parties? And in that type of a situation, we need to maintain that business, and we're going to have to give it to whoever it is that's most comfortable, most educated, who is more involved with the management of that business, and is the one who is primarily responsible for running that business and generating the income that's going to be needed at the conclusion of the dissolution in order to maintain both parties in a comfortable lifestyle. A lot of times we do get into situations where we can negotiate the distribution of a business. And generally, what we do is we look at all of the assets and we try to get a general value of that business. And in terms of equalizing a distribution of the assets, we can shift some assets to one side in order to balance out the equitable interest in the business. And typically, that is one of the most common ways that we distribute the business based upon the value that's typically determined by our forensic accountants. If you have a business that's co-owned and you're looking to buy out your spouse's interest in that business, once you get a value on that business, if they demand you put an actual value, sometimes people are a little, looser with that, and they say, well, he can keep the business, I keep the house. So typically, the way to buy out is to assign other assets to your spouse that will somehow create equity in the divorce. On occasion, when we're dealing with a business during the process of divorce and we have two individuals co-own the company who are actively involved in the company equally, and it would be difficult to distinguish which one is more valuable to the company. I've even had occasions where they maintain a joint interest in the company and they continue to play the role that they've always played in terms of management of the company for some period of time in order to continue the continuity of financial income that's coming in from that. So that is not frequent, but occasionally people are mature enough to recognize the value that they bring to the company and the value of maintaining the company, irrespective of whether they remain married or not married. If you have any questions about how it is that your business might be addressed by the courts during the divorce process, please reach out to Monarch Family Law and schedule a free consultation.